What is up, my YouTube friends? Welcome to another episode of Questions from the Truck, number 43. 43. Thank you for your responses to last couple weeks ago last show, number 42. I will be including those questions again in this video, so in the description, so please ask. I'm going to ask them too, answer them if you haven't already. I appreciate that. So my first question is from Nathan DeLay, my friend Nathan up there in Reading area. He has a lot of questions for me. So Nathan's first question to me is, does it have to be a certain trolley that gets restored at the museums? No and yes. Only, not every trolley can be saved, Nathan. Sadly, there's a lot of trolleys that get scrapped, and there's a lot of trolleys that are sitting at museums that may never get restored just because they can't restore them all. There's some of them have so many cars that financially it is not feasible. It just costs a lot of money to restore these cars. Some cars, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some cars, $50,000, $60,000. But it's a lot of money, and obviously these museums only really exist because of people going to them, people donating to them, people leaving money in their wills to them. They don't make a lot of money, a lot of these museums. Big places like Strasbourg, they do, because of their ridership. The trolley museums, not so much, because there's not a lot of trolley fans. I hope that answers your question. His second one to me was, did I get the pictures that he sent me? He had emailed me some photos of a trolley up in his area that he found in the woods or something, and it's in disrepair, really bad. The guys at the museums know about it. It's so far gone that it's not feasible to save. There's a point in these trolleys that, I go back to the money. If it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars to restore a car like that, and it would be, they're not going to save it. Only if it really had significant historical value to the museums that were interested in it. If it ran in the area or something like that. Do I work on metal trolleys? I do, but I only do the woodworking on them. There are some newer trolleys, like in the 40s, that are 99% metal, and there's a few things that are wood on them still. And I work on the wood part. Trolleys in regular service. This is an interesting question. He wanted to know, trolleys in regular service for 5 days, like if a trolley's in regular service on a transit line, I'm guessing, for 5 days, why could they run these, I guess, historic cars on the weekends or take them to museums? So it was kind of hard to understand that question, but most of the time these trolley museums are nowhere near transit lines that are operating still. Case in point, Baltimore Trolley Museum. It has a trolley line there, but it's not connected to the museum in any way. So to get a car from the museum to the line is impossible. It would have to be trucked there, and it's just not happening. Um, Again, it goes back to the money. It costs a lot of money to move a trolley by truck. That was interesting. So, yeah, that's just not going to happen. Probably the only museum that does something like that is Muni, but they have all the historic trolleys that run out there in San Francisco. Um, Thanks for your questions, buddy. I hope that answered your questions. My next one is from Dwight Kerley. Dwight wants to know, in Drew Steele's latest video, you can see it's in his it's the real locomotive in the intro to his video. He wants to know, like, what is that? You see the screen, but you can see right through the screen on the lower part of the locomotive. Um, what's up with that? Why is it like that? Well, I think it is air induction for the radiator system that sits above it. So air comes in, gets sucked in through there, and goes up the top through the radiator system that the train has. That's what I think it is. But if you guys know, let us know. Enlighten us. Thank you, my friend. My next one is from PK&W Modelwerx. He wants to know my actual truck. He wants to see my actual truck. He's tired of seeing my little cool trucks in the beginning. They're cool, Bob. I can't help it. They're cool. My truck is not cool, Bob. It's just a van, you know? It's just a cube van. I'll show a picture of it here. So that's what it looks like. Nothing special. It is a Chevy. The body is made by Unicell. Um, he wants to know, would I recommend this truck? Not so much the body, but the chassis truck, the van, the Chevy van. Yeah, this is 2007, and I have over 285,000 miles on it, and never had an issue. Knock on wood. Yeah, it's a great truck, man. Yeah, a great truck, and it really has. It's been a good truck to me. Probably, even in my bakery days, I had Chevys, and they were all good trucks. I mean, yeah, there were some things, but this is the best truck by far. Just in maintenance wise, not a lot of issues with it. Knock on wood. Little things, brakes, things like that, things that wear out, but no real major issues. It's a good truck. How does it fit into my business? It carries my lumber, carries my tools, carries my everything, man. It's like, and this is my daily driver. I pretty much drive this every day, everywhere. I used to have a car, got rid of that because it just wasn't driving it a lot. I used to have an old pickup truck, got rid of that. Just wasn't driving it enough. And just the cost of keeping it. I don't have a garage to keep my vehicles in. Um, Living in the city, it's just like a pain. And insurance, so just one. That's it. Thanks for your question, buddy. And my next question is from Chai Gogolin. Pappy over there, he wants to know the best restoration that I have done, I guess, to date. They're all good, but probably my best one is the C-145 snow sweeper that's in Baltimore. I'll put a picture next. that was a complete, pretty much, restoration. You see the pictures that I put there, first of what it looked like, and to begin with, 2 years ago, this was like a 2-year restoration, not just involving me, but I think 12 other people or 10 other people. There's a total of, to get to the point where you see in the end photo, 1,400 man hours of work on that trolley and tens of thousands of dollars. That was a pretty intense restoration for me, because it was the first time that I did something that large, instead of doing pieces of the car where I have done previously to other cars, making doors, making windows, things like that. That car, you've seen, went down to the framework of the car, and even replacing some of the rotten framework. That's all wood. That car is mostly, it's 1923. It is probably 90% wood. Everything from the structure, the green body, up is wood. The lower part of the car, the framework, is metal. Not a lot of metal in that car compared to wood. And yeah, that was the biggest thing I've ever done to date, and most intense and most gratifying too, because that car will be around for another 100 years, no doubt, absolutely no doubt. Because before, it sat in service for the major transit company in Philadelphia. It sat outside. Probably 90% of its life, and being outside for 100 years takes a toll on everything. And it did surprisingly well, better than others that I've seen that are in that era and have the same life that has had, being outside, and sometimes in worse conditions. And those cars are really bad. So that's it, man. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see if we have any more questions, and if not, we'll wrap it up. So this brings us to the last question of the show, and it is a repeat question from last number 42 show, and it is from Matt Nolan. Matt wants to know, what are the things that would encourage you to visit a trolley or train museum more than once? Okay. And his second question is, what things could a museum offer that would make it more interesting for a non-rail fan or trolley fan related families? Like, if you're bringing your family, what would make it interesting for those people that aren't rail fans or fans of whatever transportation it is, mode of transportation, let's say. I appreciate you guys as answering these two questions. Some of you guys did on the last one, and I appreciate it, and we all appreciate your thoughts and your time that you take out to answer those questions. As always, enjoy the rest of your week, be blessed, and have fun. Make it an adventure. Go somewhere. Do some rail fanning or something. Get out there and enjoy your world. Till the next time. See you during the week sometime. See ya!